Welcome, everyone, to the Hooligan Alley Hangout. This is JW Sims, and Katrina is finally back with us, so I don't have to do this by myself this
I
week.
was gone 1 week without you.
I know, and I almost died. It was terrible. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to talk about, and we just
And I always have random crap to
yeah.
talk about.
I couldn't make fun of you about Batman, so
It's true. What are you gonna do?
yeah. So, but
Rough.
anyways, we have a guest with us this week. She is the creator, and you know me, I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff, but I think I got this one. A La Brava. It's a Latino
Oh,
superhero
I thought that was her
team.
name, and I was like, that's a different type of
No,
name.
Kayden Phoenix is with us. Bring her on. Hello, Kayden.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I did pronounce it right then, I hope.
You
A La
did. You
Brava.
got my name and A La Brava. You got it right. Yes.
Nice, because I'm great. I know you can ask Jonathan. I murder everybody's name.
It's okay.
It's, but your book, I guess, actually, you're like an honorary member of our show because Jonathan talks about it all the time.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. But if for those who don't know, just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So A La Brava, it's the first Latina superhero team in history. Like since 1939, when they started doing comics, no one's decided to do a Latina superhero team. And so I did it. I did not know that when I was making them. And so I did the origin stories of each of my superheroes. And then this is the book of all of them put together. So it is their origin. And so that's what we're kickstarting for right now.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like kind of like how they did the Avengers movies, how they each had their own movie and then they brought them together as the team.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's on Kickstarter. I'm going to see if I just wanted so I can see it. So
The rest of us aren't privileged enough.
well, I need
it's A La Brava Universe, or I'll type it in if you want, or on the side. It's alabravauniverse.com, but in case, and then it'll take you right to the Kickstarter.
Yeah. And there was something I was looking at and I don't remember. See, that's how my brain works. It doesn't remember things. It's my excuse though. I've had brain surgery, so I'm allowed to forget that. But think of something. So my brain catches up to me.
Think of something.
So how many pages is the book?
I believe it's 125 or 100. Right now it's 116. But if you scroll to the bottom of it, it'll actually say it on the bottom of the description. Because I don't remember offhand, but for sure at least 116, if not a little bit more.
Very cool. And it's full color, I assume.
Absolutely, yes. And it's all Latina artist as well. I'm the writer and the creator. But that was really important just, for the representation thing. Because, like, you tell someone name a Latina artist, and they can't, right? And you say, okay, name a female artist, and if they know anything, they'll say Jen Bartel. But then you're like, okay, name another one, and then you wait, right? And, like, that's the problem. Yeah.
I'm going to share the Kickstarter with everybody now so we can see it and all that good stuff. So how long have I been doing this now, Kat? You'd think
a while.
Yeah, you'd think I would understand how to use StreamYard by now, but no, I don't. It's terrible.
We'll blame it on your brain.
Yeah, okay, that's what I do, so we'll just go with that. All right. There. Now we can see it.
Oh, cool. Yay.
Yeah, because the only problem when I do this, I can't see you guys, so I don't know what it's showing. So
we're just all making faces at you. It's okay.
I wouldn't. So we have 26 days to go on the campaign. I take it this was a 30-day campaign?
Yes.
And you're already at 3812, so
I'm at 75%, a little bit over 75%.
It's fantastic.
That's really good, yeah.
Thank you.
And I should have played the video. Maybe I should have.
But yeah, that's the Peace Girls. So that first photo, that's their team and their uniforms are ready. It's the same thing, like, X-Men has just that one piece ordeal. They all have just the stupid one piece. And so I was like, that's fine, I will copy. But Jalisco, the girl in the middle is Jalisco. She has a dress and the blades come out of her dress, so she does not have like an actual unitard like everyone else does. So she still has to have the dress on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. And then this is some of the art.
Huh? Yes.
And who is the artist?
That
No,
one is
quite tell me.
my penciler is Renata Garcia. She's based in Mexico, and she's really good. She does very chibi type style.
Yeah.
It's like they're very cute, even though like there's a lot of death in this thing. And the gist of this origin story is that females in like political government positions are being killed off one by one, and they're very high-ranking positions as well. And so the girls are trying to figure out who pretty much stop the person that's killing the girls. That's them in their masquerade. They go to a masquerade party. Everything's very like superhero origin, like we always get. But this is just a different style and version of it. It's them talking. That's before they first meet again, before they like actually team up.
And then this.
Yeah, that's my penciler, Renata.
That's cute.
Thank you. And then that's my inker. That's Aislene. And that's my colorist.
Nice.
And then my letterist and my graphic designer as well. And that's Andrea.
I need when people put me on their Kickstarters a better representation, I think. These are good. I'm like, guys, I think you're slacking a little.
Yeah.
They all steal the same photo that Eric Cockrell once stole for something.
It's all the same photo.
People keep like, oh, here, I'll use this photo. And I'm like, where did you get that? I mean, it was on Facebook.
Yeah.
But it's always, it's already black and white. It was color on Facebook. So I'm like, I know you guys went to like one of my campaigns or something and stole this photo. Do your own work.
I'm good at doing that, but anyways, so that's. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I to be 100% honest, I just woke up. So. I'm trying to get woken up, and it's just not working. Yeah, so my brain isn't quite here yet. So in the pledges, I mean the rewards. There we go. So you have. I'm trying to look through these real quick. I did look down, but so you have like signed copies. What's the library reading program?
You can donate it. So you can purchase a book and it gets donated to any school library actually within the United States.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's really, they're very welcoming. Like I call them to make sure first, and then I get the address and I send it. Or if it's local, within the LA region or greater LA, I'll drive and drop it off, and that's no big deal. But I do make sure first, just so I can know for sure it'll get in their library.
What age ranges would you say your book is?
So it goes in the comic book stores. It goes to all ages. It's really, really like 7 and older, because I mean it's just people die, right? And so it's not for kindergartners. But it is. If your kid reads comics anyway, it's no big deal. And so it's just depending on the parent, honestly.
Yeah, I just wonder what level schools.
Middle school, high school, people in college read it as well. So like there's study classes or courses, and they buy the books like for their curriculum, which is really nice.
That's
because
really
they
cool.
they deal with social justice issues. Most of them do, and so some are a little bit more hardcore on it, like femicide and like domestic violence. Like those are really dark, but that's not the story. Those are my origin stories. So so it's a good different perspective, but it's digestible, form of storytelling through an origin story.
Yeah. I hate Kickstarter. I wish they would make things easier to do. Like,
the scrolling thing.
Yeah, the
drives me
scrolling thing
nuts.
is terrible. You have to make sure you're like right on the right spot, or it won't. And then you have the Give Receive Club.
Yes, so that one I always partner up with any organization, generally within the LA and world here. And so, like last time we had Girl Scouts, the Greater LA, Girl Scouts of Greater LA over in Southgate or over in San Gabriel, wherever. This one is actually Girls' Voices Now, and so it is a nonprofit organization. And these adults, they teach high school and middle school kids to create a short film. And so it's whatever the kid wants to learn, but they teach them how to actually direct, to write, to, be actor, XYZ, everything. And that's what they get. And so like, that's a really cool, bringing up everybody. And it doesn't matter the race or whatever, like it's free. It's like a summer camp pretty much. And so like, these girls are amazing just because they're already wanting to be a filmmaker or at least thinking about it. And so if you, A La Brava Give Receive Clubs, you buy one for yourself, you get one, and then you also donate one to one of the girls.
Okay. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
And then starter pack, you get T-shirts and stickers and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and then you get all of them. So that one, the Latina Superhero starter pack, you get the whole every single book I've made. So there's 5 origins. There's 5 superheroes. So there's 5 origins of each individual, and then there's the new book itself, which is A La Brava, which is the team origin. So you get all 6 books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen
that.
Yeah.
On the website, I seen that you have all those available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was looking through that earlier before I fell asleep. And then there's that. So get drawn into.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, that one's really fun. So there's 2. There's get drawn into Swan, and then the other option underneath it is get drawn into Macabre. So my next phase is princesses. So this is my superhero phase, and this is my princess phase, which is for all ages, absolutely all ages. And so Macabre is my death princess. So you send me a photo of yourself or whomever you want. Some people send me their dog, doesn't matter. And it gets drawn into the actual comic. Because those are the ones that we're working on right now, my artist and myself. So Macabre's my death, and then Swan is my water princess. So if you want to be someone that lives underwater, and you either get a line or just background, right? It's nothing like very, obviously you're not really character at all. It's right. But you get to be in the comic next to the superhero or next to the princesses on this one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Next. Now I gotta see if I can. They just need a back to the top button. Is all they need to do, and it would solve everything.
And it would make him happy.
It would, because I can't stand. Well, I almost removed myself from the show. That was.
I'll just leave.
Well, remember that one day it did happen.
He did leave. The only problem with him leaving was that I have no control over anything. I couldn't shut anything down. I couldn't do anything. So we just kind of sat here talking for a while, hoping he'd come back. So like, please come back, because otherwise it's going to be people staring at us like saying, "Hey, Joe."
Yeah, you weren't on for his show.
Has he been back again?
Yeah, he was on the day you couldn't come. Or no, maybe not.
No, he was on our.
That's right. He was on our first show. Back.
I was gonna say it's possible he has another Kickstarter running right now.
I seen. I was like,
so yeah, issue 2.
Yeah,
issue 2's up there on Kickstarter and already funded.
Wow, I didn't notice that. I just got the thing today. I didn't look at it
yet.
Yeah. So these stories, obviously, how did you come about deciding to make these Latina superheroes?
Originally, I'm actually a writer, a screenwriter, and a director. So I come from film industry, and I wanted, when I was writing a screenplay, right, because I can make anything I want until it gets bought. Yeah, I was like, what do I want to write, and what do I want to see on the big screen? And my first thought was a Latina superhero. I was like, great, I can write that, of course. And so I was like, okay, great, I'm going to write out a Latina superhero feature-length screenplay, like a movie, and then I'm going to shoot a sizzle, like a short film, so I can, put it together so they can see, here's the tone, here's what this is, Yeah. And so I showed people, and everybody I showed asked me for the comic book. And every single time I was like, but like, it was a really nice compliment because they thought that she should be a comic.
Yeah.
And every single time I was like, no. And so it was just finally, it just made sense. Honestly, I just pivoted and I was like, okay, fine. People think this girl, Jalisco, on that one, is a comic book. Let me create a comic book. And then back when I was thinking of at the very beginning, when I was thinking I could make my superhero, I read out, what I want to see on the big screen. I was like, if I make 5 superheroes, I increase my chances that one of those 5 will get on the big screen. And so, just probability wise, it makes more sense. And so I was like, okay, 5, you're a 5, they're a team. Obviously, if they're a team, they're in the same universe. And so it just kind of went from there. And it was easy, like it wasn't that hard to connect the dots in that sense. Yeah. And so that's how I pivoted. And I was like, okay, it's still storytelling, right? But they're, instead of moving pictures like movies, they're stills. Like you literally get one shot, you get one angle, one size, know? And so that's the main difference. Obviously, besides, you're not on set, you're here at the office, or, you're inside. Everybody works from home, which is nice too. It worked out very well for pandemic, at least. And so that's when I started. I started in 2019, and then DTVA, Disney brought me in, and Warner Brothers brought me in, and Netflix brought me in, and Miramax brought me in. And then by then it was March 2020, and then we were in lockdown. And so all that paused. That was one book. And so I was like, okay, good, it's going. Let me continue. And so now I have 5 books, soon to be 6 books starting next month.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, so you started out making films. Is that what, like that's what you? And so I've seen on your I think it was on your Facebook that you had won an award as a director.
Yeah, I won. Let me stare it over. I won a couple. Bookshelf way on the top. I was like, but yeah, I won. I think a Best Director award. I know that for Jalisco, actually, for that short film that I shot as the Sizzle, but it doubles as a short film. I won Best Director for another short film, a queer horror one that I did. But I wasn't there for the award, but I got that one. And then and that's just from my past work, as a director. But it's really fun, It's a nice compliment that like, hey, you're doing good work, right? And so it's like continue,
And so now that you've written like screenplays and comics, what would you say is like similar or the major difference in that?
Well, I don't write comics still. I just write screenplays. Like I don't write the way that you're supposed to write a comic, like here's the panel and the dialogue and the action. Like I looked it up and I was just like, no, that makes no sense to me because I care about the story. I do care about the art, but for me as a writer, I care about the story. My artists care about the art, because that is their job. And so I write out my screenplay and then I do really, scary looking storyboards because I do figures that are really just scary. And so, but they find out the sizes, they find out how big the bubble is, etc. So they can know if they're not doing the background, the little things that like it saves them time because I do want to save them time as well. And so I write that, I do it on scratch paper, and then obviously they take it and put it on their tablet or whatnot. And so I still like screenplays. Like I said, I don't write comics, so I don't know the difference in that sense. In regards to movies or comics, I still like movies. I grew up with features. I grew up with lots of TV, but really features. And so that is my default. When I read comics, I had to research comics. Girls don't exist in comics. If they do, we're sexy or we just die, right? Like it's just, we don't exist. We don't care. Like you're the mom, you're the girlfriend, or you're the villain, right? Those are the 3 we get. Yeah, not just a girl, but like, what about a Latina? What about a lesbian? We just don't exist, right? And like that's it. Or we're very horribly portrayed, right? You can think of like America Chavez. Or what is it? The Latina Wonder Woman. We just don't get portrayed very well. We don't get the good stories. And so, at least they're trying. But I definitely see myself much more in movies and TV.
Yeah. Do you have anything, Kat? Well, I think of another question.
What do you think of another question? I don't know. I'm focused on not melting to death right now. So warm and humid today. Although it's better. So I keep telling myself it's better. Yesterday was worse.
It gets better, right? That's the quote. Yeah.
There's only 3 more months to go.
But then you get snow.
Oh, that's nice.
That's all we get.
I hope for 2 months of fall. Yeah. I won't hope for 3. That'll never happen.
We might get 2 weeks of fall. You know that.
I know. we somehow lose spring and fall here.
Yeah,
We
that's
just
how we are.
jump from winter to summer and then back again.
Yeah.
But a girl can dream. If we can have Latina superheroes, I can have fall.
That's right. You can write a comic of just having fall.
That's right. That's right. My first comic is not going to be about, what I keep
Cat?
telling everybody is going to be not cats. No. First one is oh man, I forgot my own comic idea. Oh
Oh,
Yeah.
the Bass Force, the fish.
well. No.
Oh,
That would be funny though. I keep threatening to write. We have a mutual colleague who wrote a book called Base Force.
Cool.
But because bass and bass are spelled the same way, I thought it was Bass Force. I thought it was all about like a fish police force. Turns out it's not. It's a superhero named Base
Base
Force.
Yeah.
That's valid. Here's
It's-
the work.
I tried. So I've joked that I'm going to someday write a book about,
A fish police force.
fish police force.
Yeah, that are looking for spring and fall because they can't find them anymore. You see?
Right. So they're
Yeah.
missing the seasons and where'd they go? We'll see. You never know. I've probably written Stranger.
Probably. So I always have these silly questions, which I don't have them with me today. But there's one I always like to ask everyone when they come on the show. And don't worry, it's not the Batman one.
It's
Katrina.
not the Batman one?
It's not the because Katrina thinks Batman is the most overrated superhero in the world. But,
She's not really wrong. So. I mean, you might here's a billionaire that cries for 5,000 years about his parents' death. Yeah, but here's a gadget. Okay, cool, you can fly. Okay, cool, you don't kill people, but everybody dies around you. Sure. I do actually, I grew up watching Batman, and they do have great characters, but the person himself, whatever, he's not necessarily as redeemable as people make him out to be just because his parents died. That's really the truth of it.
Yeah, I think after how many years? I mean, in story wise, it's probably been that'd be 30 years now.
50 years of Batman crying.
Get over it.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to move on.
Yeah, my parents died too. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out here.
Yeah.
Start
The
beating
only
people
difference
with my
between
leg.
you and me is the money.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But anyways, so if you could be a dinosaur,
The
what dinosaur would
dinosaur
you be, and why? And it cannot be a T-Rex. I'm sick of people taking that.
I don't know enough about dinosaurs, honestly, to be able to probably answer that. I do know that they found out that they had feathers, and I thought that was really amazing that dinosaurs have feathers on them, in general. But I don't know the answer. I would probably say I'd be probably a pterodactyl then, because I think flying's amazing, and so I would say a pterodactyl or any form of the birds that fly.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze?
He's frozen. He went.
He's very,
Did I freeze?
he's
No,
very,
no.
you did momentarily.
I was thinking,
Oh, you're now.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure you're freezing.
but I always am I?
Yeah.
I'm not on my side.
Yeah.
That's weird. Anyway, I always like to say that I would be a meat-eating rhinoceros. A rhinoceros. Listen to me.
Rhinosaur? What is a rhinosaur? Is that a thing?
Triceratops. Yeah,
A Triceratops.
Did you
But
make up a
I just
dinosaur?
made up one. It's a rhinosaur. I did. It's a rhinosaur. It's going to be in the next Jurassic Park movie.
Probably will be. Let's call it red instead of blue. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be red. I'm just totally not
So
here today.
meat-eating triceratops.
Meat-eating Triceratops. Yes, because we went out to eat. When did we? I don't even remember. This was not long ago, and I ordered. Oh, it was after the show, after the con. I was with Chris and his dad,
Okay.
and we stopped to eat. And I told him what I want, and the lady's like, "So you don't want any vegetables?" I said, "No, I'm a meatitarian."
Meatitarian. I'm gonna go this week with something that didn't fall into a tar pit.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know.
So like an alligator?
It's all about survival this week.
like an alligator
An
or
alligator. Yeah.
one of
People
those.
people would buy that, right? I look mean and ferocious.
So to get back kind of, can you tell us about the characters? Like what their powers are and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. So Jalisco's the first one. That's the one I told you is my dancer. So she has a big dress, Jens Flocorico, and blades come out of her dress. So that's the first one. The second one, she's my Mexican one, so she comes from Mexico. Second one, the rest are all American Latinas. And so the second one is Santa. So that's my Texas girl. She has divine strength, and she's my brawler. So she's a fighter because all Texas like to fight each other. It's a tempo luchadores for the same reason. And she has divine strength. She has deja vu as well. And then my third one is Loquita. She's my Puerto Rican Cuban from Miami. She's my young one, my high schooler. And she starts seeing like demons, ghosts, goblins, ghouls, big scaredy cat. And she has a black cat that's a scaredy cat. She's literally like the goth girl, but that we get that stereotype. And she's my supernatural detective. She ends up befriending a ghost and helping the ghost through pretty much a supernatural type of tale of figuring out who killed the ghost. And so her power, besides being able to see supernatural, is that like if she touches you, then whoever, that person can see also supernatural until she's not done touching them or whatever. She knows jujitsu on that one. Next one is Druka. So that's over here in East LA, and that's where I'm from. She's my East LA Chicana. She has instant karma, meaning if, say, you accidentally shoulder her, she'll touch her hoop earring or her ring or whatever, and you'll magically get shouldered back. So whatever you give to her, she can throw back to you. So that's instant karma. And then my last one is my Dominican from New York, and her name is Bandita. She's my cowgirl, my gunslinger. She can do a bullet bounce, meaning she can point her gun at the wall, and it ricochets off the wall around the obstacle to the object she's pointing to, or she actually wants. And so those are the 5. And then the same thing, they become a team. So some of them have skills. 2 of them have skills, which is Bandita and Jalisco, the first and last one. And the other 3 have magic, if you will. But those 3 have powers.
Yeah. I'm just thinking with that gun thing. Take that, Batman.
Yeah, like except he'd have his Teflon or whatever junk on. He'd be like, "That's fine."
Batman doesn't use a gun.
Yeah, well, that's him. I do. My people do.
I'm sorry. My brain is not awake yet. I'm on top of things, and I'm just not. I don't even have my notebook with me, Kat.
Not saying no. Can't say no. It's not true.
Like I usually have notebooks like everywhere.
He does usually have notebooks. That's true.
Okay.
I'll give him that one.
I'm like lost. I don't have anything. I don't even have my phone here. I can't even like look up something on my phone. I'm telling you, I got up and got on. I was like, crap, I gotta go. I just gotta learn not to take my old man naps in the evening as well. Yeah, it's bad. So how did you get into, I mean, obviously everybody gets in, but to get into making movies and then thus moving over to comic books, like,
for why I got into, say, the film industry. So I graduated, I went to Loyola Marymount over here in LA still, because I'm very LA. And I did marketing. And so I did marketing afterwards, of course. And then I just needed a creative outlet. And so I literally I just taught myself screenwriting. Because I was like, I like to write, and that's fine. I like to read. But I didn't want to do a novel form, because that seemed really long and boring for me. But I was like, scripts I can do, because I like movies, right? And they're short. Like, they're 100 and something pages, so they're short. And so I chose screenwriting. So I literally went to the library and I got the books. I just got lots of books of how to write out a screenplay. Anything by Sid Field is really the answer. But like eventually, like, they're all the same. They're all 3-act structures. It's just a bunch of practice. I wrote out my first script. I thought it was so amazing and it was so bad, right? But this is like my first script. So I was like, yeah, like all screenwriters, I guess. But and then you keep going and you just keep getting better and better, right? You put in your 10,000 hours, and so that was my process. That was some years ago, but like it got me here now. And then I told you the story about how I pivoted from there to comics. I still screenwrite though. I still very much screenwrite, and for TV and film. but like this gets me back into it. So it's not like I'm going away necessarily from the film industry.
Mm-hmm.
So you've had some things you've written obviously be made into things, and
Yeah, into short films mostly, or a lot of them actually, into short films, into commercials as well. Music videos I've gotten hired for, but I've written them out, or the musician approaches me and we figure out a story, and I write and direct it and produce it most of the time as well. And so yeah, it's been going. I have here and there for the bigger things, the networks. You pitch and then they choose who they want, but it's going, which is a nice thing.
yeah, nice, very interesting. Because on our Wednesday show, we just had some guests that are making a movie, a horror
Good.
movie. So it
Good.
was interesting to see because Kurt Belcher, who's a comic book artist, is now like making this movie with somebody who Robert Smith is his name, Robert C. Smith, who
Cool.
is like a director and writer and stuff. So it was
Yeah.
interesting to see how that process, because I come strictly from comic books.
Yeah.
Kat is a actual writer.
Oh, nice.
Actual writer, not a
And
pretend fake one.
well, compared to like a comic book, like you actually have real books.
Compared to comic books.
Yeah.
Wow, every comic book writer out there is now gunning for you.
That's good. They can come.
Come on the show and discuss.
That's right. They can come and fight me on the show.
That's right.
We'll talk about writing a 20-page story compared to a 250-page story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't write 250-page stories, so
No, I know. But anyways, so the comic, you said it's like 100 and some pages, so it's going to be like more like a graphic novel.
Yeah, it's a graphic novel. I only do graphic novels. I don't do
So-
single
Oh,
issues.
okay. So all of you, those other 5 books are all graphic novels.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, and like I said, you can get them on the website, which I don't have written down because I'm stupid. Let me.
Or you can get them on Kickstarter as well because they count as add-ons as well.
Oh,
if
you
have
have them as
to read,
add-ons.
like A La Brava and this one particular book, you just add it on the back.
okay.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And is it do you have like digital copies or is it all physical copies?
Yeah, they're all tangible. I don't do
Nice.
digital.
Yay!
Your favorite.
Yes, I'm a physical
I am
copies
too.
kind of person. I like to
I am
actually
too,
hold
yeah.
something that I'm reading.
Yeah.
But I do get stuck reading a lot digital stuff just because of the way the world is.
Yeah.
And, especially for my shows, I need to read a lot.
Yeah.
And, but I don't know. Do you have any other questions, Katrina? I'm just lost. I'm terrible. I'm
Oh, it
usually
was you.
better prepared.
I was looking to see who had commented. It was you.
Oh yeah, it
Good
was
job.
me.
Good job.
I was.
Maybe Joseph has a question if he's still here.
I don't know.
Joseph, are you still here? Do you have a question?
I wish you would tell me who's here. It doesn't.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Well.
Anyway.
I don't, I'm afraid.
No worries.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else. I mean, I promise when you're back on the show on the 29th, I will be better prepared. And plus, I can hide. I can hide, and Jonathan like takes over the show for me.
Oh yeah, he'll continue talking. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's a lot of times I can't even like get in to the conversation. So I just like sit back. I'm like the MC. I just bring in the stuff and I introduce the segments.
You just moderate.
Yeah, Jonathan takes over. He asks all the questions. He does.
Somebody asked me to moderate a thing the other day, or 2 weeks ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And when they asked me to moderate, I spend a lot of time on Twitch. So a moderator just kind of watches the room, make sure nobody's breaking the rules and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when they asked me to do that, I thought, well, that's kind of weird for what you're asking, but sure, okay. Yeah, no, that's not what they wanted. They wanted somebody to ask questions. Yeah. So I walked in completely unprepared. I was like, I hope the audience has lots of questions today because...
Oh, so they wanted you to do like a debate moderator.
If you were to go to a con, a panel moderator.
Yeah.
Not a mom the room comment, person. Oops. I said, wow, where are these questions going to come from? And he goes, from you. And I'm like, oh, well,
I guess I should have done better.
I guess I should have been a little better prepared for this.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have clarified what you were looking for. That's all right. It went okay. The people who came in had lots of questions for him, and I didn't have to do pretty much anything except for sit there.
Good.
And what's like the status of the book? Like, is it finished? Is it ready to go to print?
Yes, it's ready to go to print. Actually, we're on our last rounds of editing, but we do have a really quick turnaround as well, which is really nice. So I do go through Print Ninja, and that's overseas. That one is not fast, but I'm going to get some advanced copies so I can have them at Comic-Con. So that's, I'll expedite those copies.
And which con are you going
At
to
San
be
Diego?
at? San Diego? Yeah, I figured when she said at Comic-Con.
At Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I had somebody say to me, well, that's the only con there is, right? Like, oh, honey, no. It is the big con.
Yeah.
They didn't even know New York existed.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been to
like,
New York. I've been to New York, and the only thing I remember about New York Comic Con is outside that naval ship. Like, that naval ship is so much cooler, unfortunately, than anything else inside Comic. Because I'm so used to San Diego and WonderCon and LA. Like I'm such, so I'm spoiled in that sense. But like that naval ship was amazing, and so that's what I remember about New York Comic Con is that it's right there next to it. But I might go to New York Comic Con as well. I'm seeing if I can go.
Okay.
I like New York because I'm close to it, but it's not fun sometimes. I don't know how to explain it. It's like being in a giant mosh pit. Like you just ride the wave of people till you get to like the table you want to be at, and then you have to like take the exit.
And then you throw yourself out.
Yeah, that's about it. So if you're like trying to bring stuff to get signed and everything, not a good. You need to come early, like Thursday.
Thursday at the opening door.
Yeah, like because Thursday's usually a slow day. Like if you can, like when passes go on sale, they usually sell pretty quick. But until the day of the show, they're like, we still have Thursday tickets available. Because most people are still working on a Thursday. So.
Yeah.
I always like the shows that had Thursday night preview nights.
Yeah.
Where they're only open for 3 or 4 hours, but you can get in there. And yeah, most people are working, or they're like, oh, we want to go on the weekend when all the big names are going to be there and whatever. And I'm like, no, give me a Thursday night preview night anytime. Because then I actually get a chance to talk to people and see the people.
Yeah.
And not just be, buffered in the crowd.
Yeah. San Diego, we have it starting Wednesday as our preview night. And then Thursday through Sunday is the full days.
Wow. Like 5 days?
Huh? Yeah, you get burned out. I get burned out. I mean, this is if I'm an attendee, it's just like you just burn out. Saturday and Sunday, I go home on Friday. Like, I'm done. Because I don't, it's the same thing over and over, and it's fun, but it's just like, I'm done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did one day just a couple weeks ago, and by the time that Sunday was over, I was like, all right, I'm ready to get home.
Yeah.
It's just...
I've gotten that way.
Yeah.
Where as an attendee now, I did the last big show I did was C2E2 right before they shut everything down for the pandemic. And by the time I hit it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the time I hit Sunday, I was like, oh, do I want to go back again? and if it hadn't been for a couple of friends I was going to meet up with, I don't know that I would have.
Yeah.
I probably would have hit the pool at the hotel and relaxed and read the stuff I'd picked up and called it good. And
have you done? My microphone wasn't even like, I don't even know how you heard me the whole time. My microphone was still.
You're loud.
Now I'm loud. I was all mumbly before now, but have you done many shows?
I got invited to Albuquerque and Santa Fe and El Paso Comic Con, and then those are a little bit, but they paid for everything, so it was really nice. The ones here, I've been to LA a couple times because I started in 2019, then 20 and 21, nothing happened. So now it's back open again. So LA Comic Con, I've been to twice now. The 2 years that it was open that I had comics, and then WonderCon just opened, so I was in that one. And then San Diego Special Edition, I went last year, and I'm going to be going this year. I will be going to. I'm planning to go to Emerald Con, C2E2, and New York because I'm starting to travel now. Yeah, I have to, unfortunately, but I gotta. It'll be fun.
And like, what have you thought about like your experience at the cons? I know because some of them can be different, especially if you go from like I end up doing a lot of smaller local stuff because we live in the middle of nowhere. But like, what has your experience been like at those shows?
Oh, I really like it. I enjoy being on cons. Like I used to just be an attendee, and so I enjoyed Comic Cons regardless. So now it's on this side of the table. So instead of me walking and seeing everybody, I see everybody walk by and I see them, which is really fun too. And then some people come really happy to the table because they see like the doll. I have a Jalisco doll that I always bring. It doesn't have the blades, but like it's still like you don't see this girl. Like you don't see this ever. The Barbies. And so my friend
I have a stuffed gnome that sits on my table.
See? You don't see that either. And so
I don't have anything. I have a lot of toys behind me. That's about it.
One day you'll have a Jalisco doll too. I'll put it in your stocking. But yeah, no, I enjoy it. I've had really great experiences in all the cons, the bigger cons and the smaller ones, because if you go, the Midwest is not as big as say LA, and so you get different types of people as well. You get the really, and it's fine. Like it's just really cool because it's all people are different, and so it's a really nice experience either way. Because either way, you get to talk to them, you get to tell them stories, and whether they buy one or they buy the whole set, that's also dependent on the demographic, which I realize of where you are. But it's still either way, it's still getting the name out, and getting the word out.
Yeah. I've I don't know, Katrina is you've been to a couple shows, right?
Yeah.
And what is your experience?
I mean, I've only tabled this year. I started at the one show, and I do children's books. They're collections of short stories, and it's a tougher niche, is what I'm discovering. But I had a lot of fun. I had a couple people who I knew from, like one I knew from high school, somebody else I knew from like just Facebook who stopped by the table, which was a lot of fun. I don't recommend getting stuck by the kid ride area. Those little, you pop the quarter in and you ride the spaceship or whatever. Because one of them malfunctioned. And for 2 hours, I just heard, "Please insert quarter," in this terrible British voice. It was, and I had a headache by the end of the day. Just from this thing.
You were just going over and kept flopping quarters in it. Somebody
tried, and I actually asked the showrunner if he could unplug it.
Plug it, yeah.
Or get somebody from the mall to come do it. And he was like, "Oh, it'll be fine." I'm like, "No, it's not fine. I'm done." And I asked mall security, and mall security was like, "Oh, we don't actually own those. Those are owned by a private company, so we can't do anything with them."
Well, I would have went over and tripped over the cord.
Well, the thing is, the cord, you had to remove a panel, and it was plugged in underneath.
Oh, no.
And I know that because some wonderful person took pity on me and unplugged it at one point. And it was only a 2-day show, so the next day was much better because I didn't have to listen to that for additional hours. But I had a lot of fun. I wasn't sure how I would like being behind the table because I used to go as press.
Oh, nice.
So I was always on, the attendee side of the tables, unless it was a friend of mine that I stopped by to chat with, and he's like, "Come behind the table and help me sell stuff."
Yeah.
But it was different, but I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, that same show has tripled their rates for next year.
Yeah.
And I went, well, it turns out that not everybody is as neat and tidy as I made sure our space was when we left. And this was in a mall. And the mall charged the showrunner $500 cleanup fee because people thought they were at a big show where they could just leave their boxes and their trash and somebody would come behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So between that and I guess the mall is raising their rates for the space, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I can now afford to
Yeah.
come back next year, even though they had a surprisingly good turnout for being in a mall. The mall stores were thrilled because they said it's the best, most people they've seen in their mall in years.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite thing about doing the shows is actually getting to meet people that you've only met online.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, like when I went to Pittsburgh, we went to Three Rivers Con a couple weeks
Cool.
ago, like I said, and so I got to meet a lot of people in my area that I've only known like through the show
Or Facebook.
or Facebook or anything. And I haven't been to a con since 2018, 2017,
Okay.
so it's been a while. Of course, it was an experience. I got to see how long I could last on my leg, and
Does Kayden know about your leg?
I don't know if she does.
She's like, "What's wrong with your leg?"
This is my leg.
Got it.
So last year I lost my left leg. So
Wow.
I've just started this, and what I've learned, really, this is odd, but by meeting other people that have prosthetics,
Yeah.
I have a really big leg. Like everyone else is like this socket part is kind of skinny and something. Mine's huge. Like it's like, I mean, I knew I had big calves. I always have had like big
Yeah.
calves.
Did the rest of it matched up?
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't know that most people's calves weren't that big around. But yeah.
Well,
So I got that was my first, to get out and try it a lot. And
yeah.
stamina wise, but I was glad that I was there with Chris because then I could hide at his table when I needed to.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Chris tabled there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You got to meet Rob. Is it
Rob
Maltari?
Malteri.
Maltari or Malteri?
Malteri.
Malteri. I always say it wrong.
Yeah, and a bunch of other people. Got to see Sora
Okay.
and Pepper,
I don't know Pepper.
the dog. Her dog.
I don't know Sora
You
really.
don't know her? Oh, I
So-
thought you did.
I know of Sora.
her.
I don't know Sora.
Oh, I see. And a couple other people, and then of course all the people in the area. Grant. Whatever. But it was nice just to get out and actually
Reconnect.
and meet
Yeah.
these people that you only see on the internet. But I'm going to go see if there's anything else in here that I wanted to touch on while I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry. I usually am much better than this. I don't understand. I usually have everything written down, and I'm just.
This is true. You do.
This day is not.
I come in completely blind pretty much every week,
Yeah,
unless it's a project I've actually worked on.
That makes sense. That's all
yeah.
right.
I'm trying to get better with that because she would always say, like, she would not know who the guest is until they came on the show. Like,
I'd be like, "Oh, hi."
I was like, I can't. I'm terrible at that. Like, because I'm like,
Not the co-host. I'm just the sidekick.
you're just not even that. You're just like someone
I'm
else
not
on
even
the show.
that.
But I'm trying to do better.
Writer, that's all.
I'm trying to do better. I've actually added her to the group so she could see what's
Good.
going on with the show. Like I just started thinking of that the one day. I was like, why isn't Katrina in this group? Like I tell Jonathan all them everything that's going on, but she doesn't know anything.
Hey, that's all right.
But you'll be back on our show on the 29th
Yes.
on the Wednesday show.
Yes.
That's a little different show. I'm sure if you've seen John, we have fun on that show. I mean, we have fun on this show, but it's
We're the boring show over here.
a
I
boring
guess.
show.
Wow, you're got to be halfway to China by now with these.
I just keep digging. You know how they tell you, like if you ever find yourself in a hole, you stop digging.
Yeah.
That's not me. I just keep digging. I figure I'm closer to the other side by now.
Might as well just keep on going.
Yeah.
But so I don't have any other questions. I don't know if Katrina does. I'll make sure I will share the crap out of this since I was terrible at interviewing tonight, and it'll be on my Twitter and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, though. And thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I definitely I'm gonna check it out again some more because I'm gonna back it. I just got to figure out where in there I want to fall in at, and because who knows, I might end up just buying it because I like to read. So sometimes it takes me a little while. I mean, Katrina, you should be glad. My stack of books, it was like this big. Now it's down to like this.
Oh, you're making progress.
Now that I'm in my own place, I can read in the bathroom. And so
I get it.
And the Wednesday show has forced me to read stuff that I normally wouldn't read, which is always good.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, it's great to discover new things. Like, sometimes as a reader, you get, especially with comic books, you sometimes get in a rut and you just read the same things like every month. And so you don't like to try new things. So at least on our other Wednesday show, it's forcing us to read stuff. And I'm trying to focus on a lot of indie stuff, like not so much Marvel and DC, because I don't think they need our help.
No, when I was doing press for Geekorama, we did comic reviews. Yeah. And people are like, why are you always in like Artist Alley? And I'd say, because I don't think Superman needs a lick of publicity.
Yeah.
They could stop producing all Superman, and 10 years from now, people will still know who Superman is. Right. But do you know who this character is? Well, no, because they're a little indie press and you've not heard of them. So I'd rather focus on that than the big names.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. But I told Jonathan I'm not opposed to him getting people who are famous on the show. So.
Well, no, I'm not gonna lie. But once a month we would throw up like a DC or a Marvel title on the site, and people are like, "Oh, you're buying, you're selling out." And I was like, "No, I'm trying to get people's eyes."
Yeah.
That maybe if they read about whatever it is, they'll go on to the next article, which is about something they've not heard of before.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. So, with that, so again, I was going to say all these Ks.
Too many Ks.
Too many Ks. And KAs, I should say, because that's how it. Again, Kayden, if anyone who's watching or listening would like to follow you or get more information, where can they go to find you on these crazy interwebs?
So the Instagram, I have 2 Instagrams, but for Latina Superheroes, my Instagram is Latina Superheroes, plural. And that'll get you to A La Brava, which is all the characters that we were talking over. And then my Instagram is my name, Kayden Phoenix. My website is latinasuperheroes.com. So same thing as the Instagram, but just the website, latinasuperheroes.com. And then my Kickstarter that's going is alabravauniverse.com. But there's also a link on the Latina Superheroes website as well.
Very cool. Very cool. I can't wait to read this because I'm a superhero person.
He's a superhero geek. It's true.
I am. So I like to read all superheroes. So definitely give it a chance. And like I said, we'll share everything out. And then obviously we'll see you back on the 29th on the Comic Book Geeks podcast. But thanks again for stopping by.
Yeah.
Great to finally meet you. I know you were going to come on the show a little while ago, and we didn't quite get the show up and running in time. So it was good to.
We've been a bit dodgy lately.
Yeah. That Christmas break we took ended up being like a 6-month
5-month break. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, we're just going to take like a month off for the holidays and stuff. And I'm like, May. He's like, yeah, we should probably get started again.
Christmas is, I think everyone has their Christmas lights down now. Most people.
Maybe.
Yeah, some people still have their Christmas tree up.
If they're coming down, they're down.
Hey, I was at my ex-wife's house for my son's graduation early at the beginning of the month, and she still had her Christmas tree up. But she decided to put other things on it. So,
other things. So it was. It's not a Christmas tree; it's a holiday tree.
A tree, exactly.
Yeah.
So now probably a 4th of July stuff on it.
Aunt who did that, she would take all the ornaments and everything down and redecorate for whatever season or holiday it was.
Yeah, I was like, if you're gonna take everything off of it, just take the tree down.
If you're gonna go that far, you might as well just finish.
Yeah, because that's probably the easiest part is taking the tree down.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like me, you just have one that the branches fold up.
It's like an umbrella.
Kind of is. Upside down umbrella.
All right. Well, again, Kayden, thank you for stopping by. Make sure everyone goes out there and checks out A La Brava Universe.com. Get to the Kickstarter, back the book. It's great to see also, it's unusual, not unusual, but um, to see that you're actually also using it as a way to help children read and stuff to not just see how much money you can get for yourself to make the book, but also using the book to help other people, which is great. Um, and I'm a big person with representation. It's weird coming from a middle-aged white guy, I know, but 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 anyways, I'm just brains fried. But again, thanks for coming on the show, and we'll talk to you at the end of the month.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for having me, both of you, Katrina and
You're
Jeremy.
Take care, Kayden.
Okay, so now my brain
Is toasted.
It is. I don't understand. I must be really getting old.
I feel it. I'm telling you.
But anyways,
I went to the grocery store, the bank, picked up Chinese food. I mean, that's a lot for one person for one day.
that's
Then
not
had
too
to come
much.
then had to come home and put all the the perishables away.
That's like too
Yeah.
much adulting. Like today, this is an
That's-
example of my brain. I went grocery shopping, and I knew I had this big space in my freezer. So I was like, oh, I can put buy some stuff from the freezer. So I get home, open the freezer, and the person who took me to the store, that looked like, where are you going to put all that stuff? I was like, oh man, I forgot I got all that bread and stuck in there.
I got home and went, oh my God, I forgot trash bags.
Oh, I do that all the time. Like stuff.
And I'm like, oh, I don't.
I've been eating tissues and paper towels for 2 months.
I've had a 6-pack of paper towels in the back of my car for 2 months. You would think at some point I would bring them in the house. Well, part of it, my car was at the shop for a month.
Mm.
And I wasn't going to stop by just to pick up some paper towels out of my car.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid if I stopped by, they would give me a bad update. So,
Katrina, is there anything that you're working on right now?
I am working on my 4th book.
Do we have a title yet?
Cobalt's Castaways.
Oh, it's something different.
It is another cat book.
Oh.
We had Abo's Army. Cobalt happens to be my artist. She goes by Cobalt or Cobalt Castaway on Twitch and things like that. She's also the girlfriend
of
Let's try
Abo.
that again. Yeah, the girlfriend of Abo. So I just thought, she's very involved with the rescue and all that. So I thought it'd be fun to add her name as the title. So we have Cobalt's Castaways. It is about 5 stories from being done. This time I'm going to do the full, what do you call it? Put it all together in one book before we go to Kickstarter with it. Because last time I didn't do that and found out that
you were 100 pages now.
that I'm not 100 pages short, but probably about 20 pages short. And so I don't want to run into that again where I'm frantically trying to write to get it out to people.
Yeah, just so you have enough pages done before you go to Kickstarter.
My biggest holdup right now is it's funny because I'm going to Kickstarter with it for me to say this, but it's financial. Because I'm somebody who I want the book completely done and ready to print, which means I need to be able to pay my artists and pay my cover artists up front. And due to my $3,000 car repair bill, I don't have. I probably let's put it this way: I probably should not have bought myself Chinese for dinner tonight.
That's all right. Last week, I think it was Sunday. I ordered pizza from Domino's and put it on my credit card, which I never do.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and my nephew had called, and I said, I'm waiting for the pizza guy to get it. Oh, it must be nice. I was like, dude, I had to put that pizza on my credit card. So now I'm paying $30 for a $20 pizza. So shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have a credit card. I don't want to use it for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to use it at all.
That's
I have it solely for credit building purposes.
that's what mine's for.
And I've got about a $65 balance on there that I've got to figure out how I'm going to pay that off. So, fingers crossed, knock on wood. If you're one of my clients and you're listening, I'm available. Everybody's ready to go. They're just waiting on me.
Yeah.
I've talked to Cobalt. Usually you guys hear me call her Max.
Yeah.
She's ready to go whenever I'm ready. But I also want to add some new prints and stuff for stretch goals, so I have to be able to pay for that.
Or
yeah.
you get lucky and find somebody who like just
or
gives
or
you
I
stuff.
or I yeah, and trust me, I have been very lucky in that way in the past. I have some. I say, you know, they always say always be networking. And I said, I've been not as a comic editor or creator for a long time, but I've been in the comics industry for 10 years, you know, doing reviews and press and edit and eventually editing and helping people out with things. And because of that, I have built enough, some connections that have been very nice back to me. You know, for those who bet previous campaigns, you saw some of the prints done by Josh. Oh my God, I do this every time. I can spit his name out except for when I need to spit it out.
The guy
Josh,
who did the other.
Josh, I am so sorry. I know it's Josh, but I can't think of his last name. Anyway, but he came to me one day and just said, "You bust your butt. Let me do something nice for you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh." So I need, yeah, maybe I'll get lucky and somebody will like volunteer, you know, just, hey, I want to draw a picture of, I don't know, whoever, Rocky, of a cat.
Of a cat.
It has to be of a cat, can't be of a dog.
Or a couple cats.
Couple cats. Yeah, I'm just hoping this time. I'm
Or
gonna be doing
stickers, some chibi cat stickers.
those would be great. Usually Max does all my stickers for me, but I'm not against at all other designs being thrown in. And it may be a case of a stretch goal where we have sticker pack by Max, sticker pack by, you know, whoever, JW, you know. It may, you know, but I do want to do some stuff different. I'm not going to be offering the figurines or the keychains anymore.
Yeah, it became a thing last time, I remember.
Became a bit of a thing. No fault to the designer of them or anything like that. Just I've still got one that's in a box in my barn because it got packed on accident, and luckily the backer is just like, whatever, you know. When you find it again, mail it to me. But it bugs me, you know, because I don't have it sent out, and it's the last thing on that Kickstarter.
Oh, was it that the person from wherever? Oh, no, that was the other one. You sent it and it got back from like.
Oh my God, the one from Germany. No,
Yeah.
it was not the German one. Thank God. You know, and I am going to look at my previous 2 Kickstarters and see if I even want to offer international shipping this time.
It's gonna be.
It cost me for one book anywhere between $20 to $27 for a $10 book.
Yeah.
And I felt, I mean, I know it's not my money or my decision whether or not to spend that money. But I'm like, oh, I don't want to charge you this. Like, I feel so bad for charging.
You're gonna pay 3 times as much.
Like, I felt so bad that the German package, I actually just did out of pocket. Because I was like, you already paid once. I mean, I know that technically I paid 2 because you paid me and I paid them.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I can charge you again.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I could have split the cost or whatever, but I just feel guilty. Like, when I'm printing out those, you know, labels.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah. I'm giving up international shipping for Lent, guys. Except for Lent might be in July. I don't know. Or August.
Is that when you're thinking of going back to Kickstarter the end of summer?
Probably at the end of summer. I wanted to do 2 books at this year.
It just doesn't.
If financially, it just did not work out. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, things get better in the next month or so, that I can set some money aside.
Next year, you need to do a spooky cat story.
Well, next year, or my next book after
The
this one,
Christmas one.
my next book after this one is going to be Holidays at the Toy Store.
Oh, that's right. You were doing all the.
So it's going to be a variety. It's going to be Christmas, Halloween. I've got one in there already that's going in that mentions Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, and talks about like stories that relate to those holidays, some traditions. Luckily again, I've networked a lot, so I know a lot of people who are into different things, so I can talk to different people about, hey, what, and I may throw in, whoops, say hello to the teddy bear. He just fell on me. He fell on me. But I may throw in some stuff, even like Teddy Bear Day.
Yeah.
Like celebrated at the toy store, it's Stuffed Animal Day, or, some kind of silly ones too, Peanut Butter Banana Day. I don't know if that's a thing. I made that one up, I think, but who knows? There's holidays for every dang thing now, so.
Yeah. Every day is a holiday.
Every day is a holiday.
Of some sort.
Yeah. Whether it's a legit one or a federal holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep up anymore with even the federal holidays. I'm like, oh, the bank's closed.
Like the other day was International Best Friends Day or something.
Oh, nobody called me.
Me neither, so that's good.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
Anywho.
I didn't call anybody else, though, so I guess I can't say much. But yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm working on right now. I'm hoping August, or I may make an arrangement with my cover artist, who's a good friend, at least so we can get the cover done, and then I pay him out of the Kickstarter if necessary. He might. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it yet. He knows that I'm holding off for financial reasons, but
is this book going to be cobalt colored?
I don't know. I leave my cover. It probably won't be something that's a dark color.
Yeah.
But simply because Eric usually tries to match the covers so that they look like they're in a series.
Mm-hmm.
So April's Army was tan. So I'm guessing it'll be somewhere in that range again.
I see.
But maybe not. Maybe we'll go with a different color, but a similar image.
Yeah.
I leave that up to Eric, because Eric is good at covers. I'm
not so much.
I can tell you what I want generally. I've been behind the designs to some extent for all the covers. Except actually Return to the Toy Store. I just have to think if it was back or Return.
Yeah.
Damn it, Eric. For the rest of my life,
originally was Back to the Toy Store.
For the rest of my life, I'm going to be questioning my own book title. I'm going to have to write another one that's called like Back to the Toy Store.
Back to the Toy Store again.
Yeah. Have we been to the toy store yet? No. Let's come up with a whole series of ridiculous names. Because I am hoping to make this, a long-running series. Both of them. Well, probably both of them. The cats are pretty popular.
Because everybody loves cats.
And if you don't, then I don't know what to do with you.
You never hear of any old dog ladies.
You don't. Although the funny thing is, everybody knows I have 6 cats, which is a lot of cats. I don't recommend 6 cats to most people.
Yeah.
It is definitely crazy cat.
Especially if they're all inside the house.
They are all inside cats. They are. And for the most part, it's not bad. But the funny thing is, I was watching, oh my God. Okay, so I've been watching terrible TV again. And I think it's TBS on Thursday nights has a series of what I call terrible TV. It's mindless junk TV. You don't learn.
My favorite stuff.
You don't learn anything from it. They've got
like reality TV.
It is reality TV. That's basically what it is. They have Commit or Quit
Never
with
heard that one.
it's with Judge Lynn Toller. Do you remember she's one of the daytime judges
Yeah.
TV, and she basically goes into
I fell in
couples
my chair.
relationships, and she talks to like their friends and different people. They each get like one witness to talk to about them, and they videotape them when nobody's around and blah blah blah. And at the end of it, she tells them whether or not she either marries them on the spot or tells them they have to break up.
Oh,
They either have to commit or quit.
okay.
So, but before that, do you remember what is her was it Debrat?
Yeah, there was that like R&B
Yeah,
singer.
yeah. So she has a show called Brat Loves Judy, which is her wife.
Okay.
And I don't know why I watch this stuff, but they had like 6 or 7 small dogs. And I went, wow, that's a lot of dogs. And then looked around the room at
The cats.
the cats and went, but I think dogs are more work than cats, personally.
Yeah, because you have to take. That's why I said like cats. As long as you leave them food and water and
Food,
clean
water,
their litter
and
box,
litter boxes.
they take care of
Most
themselves.
of the time, they're good on their own. Like I can look around this room right now, and I don't see a single cat. They're all off doing
Whatever. They're
whatever.
cat stuff.
They're
Whereas-
probably sleeping on my bed where I decided it's too hot to sleep.
But a dog, you have to like take care of it like a kid. Like it's constant.
Yeah, you better take them out. You better. Now, granted, they probably, based on their house and stuff, have somebody who does all this for them.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a dog.
But I'm just,
kind of.
but they take them and they, like they were all coming back from the groomer, and I thought, oh dear Lord, the cost of like groomers and
Yeah, but when you're,
you know what I mean? But when you're, rich, they're talking about how much to spend on their wedding because this is all leading up to their wedding, which was like in February. And the one goes, I'm thinking $300,000. The other one goes, really? Because I was thinking kind of like $1 million. I'm like, $300,000 for a wedding?
yeah.
Like, dude, give me $500. I will go down.
We probably did ours for less than probably $5.
I'm thinking less than $1,000 for. I mean,
Yeah.
mine was not. I had a family member who did my bouquets.
So
It was a friend of the family who did the cake. The women's group at the church did a buffet at the church for us. The most expensive thing was probably my dress.
Yeah, the most expensive
And I can
thing,
guarantee it was like maybe $300.
the most expensive thing we had was the DJ. And,
Okay, so we did ours at the basement of the church, so we couldn't have music and dancing.
But my wife's sister paid for the DJ as our wedding gift.
Oh,
so
well,
we
there you
didn't
go.
pay for that. Like the food, we all made food. Like the night before my wedding, I'm up cooking food to take to the reception.
Yeah.
And we didn't pay for the hall because it was at the what the heck is it called now? My brain just the army bar thing.
Oh, okay.
What's
So
it
kind of
called?
like a VFW hall.
VFW, that's it. And so we didn't have to pay for that. Yeah, her aunt, Liz's aunt, was the one. She was a pastor, so she did
We did the ceremony and everything.
and we did it at her church, so we didn't have to pay. Like
right, we did it at my church, so we had to pay the minister and the organist, and I can almost guarantee because my grandmother had gone to that church longer than the organist had probably been alive, but they'd known each other forever.
Yeah.
So we probably got a discount. We did have a brand new minister though, so we didn't get a discount there. But like my grandmother paid for the church.
Yeah, even like Liz's dress was the one she wore to the prom her senior year, and they altered it like to be a wedding dress. I went out. Me and the guys went out before the wedding, like a couple of weeks before or something, and I bought us I think one of them didn't have a suit, so we bought a suit, like at wherever Goodwill. I don't even know. And we bought. I went to like Gabe's, if you know what Gabe's. If you have, I don't know. It's like one of those stores that have stuff that the big stores couldn't sell, or
okay.
like a discount store. So I bought us all matching ties. That was about it. Like,
yeah, I mean, we probably put ours together for well under $2,000, and that's including things that we didn't actually like. My grandmother paid for.
Yeah.
For me, but no, it's insanity. I'm sorry, how much?
Yeah. Well, anyways.
But, yeah, I know we're babbling, guys.
Yeah,
but that's okay. You missed it. Yep. Yeah, they missed us.
But we are going to sign off, and because I know my phone's going to ring here shortly, and my nephew will want to play Fortnite.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a butthead. Boy. Oh, that was Kate. I was like, somebody just loved the show, and it was Kayden. Anyway, we are going to sign off. I don't even. Oh, I'll grab my. Look, I got a little bit smarter. I ordered something this week.
Ooh. Any guesses what it is, guys?
Look.
It's a calendar.
So I can write down all the guests. Know what days they're on.
Good idea.
Yeah. So what is next week?
Next week is the 24th.
The 4th. Okay. So we have
the 24th.
The 24th. Lawrence
James. Okay, I thought you said the 4th.
Yeah, Lawrence James King will be our guest next Friday night. He has
somebody
a
I don't know.
Eviction. But that's the best part. We get to meet new people.
We'll meet new people. Yay!
And on Wednesday of next week, I actually have 2 guests on the show that night. Caleb
Dusat.
Thank you.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Guys,
okay.
If that's wrong, that's how I've been saying it. So if it's wrong.
And the other guy, I have no idea how to pronounce his name. It looks like Jameis Jacquem. I don't know. You know me and my names. I'm terrible. So I'm sorry about that.
People have complicated names.
Yeah, why can't they have an easy name like mine that rhymes? It's like at most it's 7 letters. Like
I know. I can't say anything because my last name gets messed up all the time.
It's just like what you do.
That's what I said. Rotes rhymes with notes.
Yeah, and you write, so you wrote it.
I wrote it. I get Roets a lot.
Roets, because people think you're like
Roets. Yeah.
They think you're French Canadian or something.
I don't know where they think I'm from, but if you ask me to speak French, you're gonna get nothing.
So
I think I can count to 3.
We have 2 full shows again next week, so we'll be good. I think from the only day that we don't have a show so far is the 1st. So I'm still trying to find a guest.
What day? Is that a Wednesday or a Friday?
Friday show.
Okay. I don't have a calendar in front of me, so
yeah,
I'm not good with that.
And then at the end of the
month, that's like 2. Oh, that's like 2 weeks. Yeah. As I say, Joseph could come back, but I think might be done. He's only doing 14-day campaigns.
Yeah, because I remember when he was on the show, we talked, and
he's only doing 2 14-day campaigns.
Yeah, doing short campaigns.
Well, we'll have to look around.
Okay, because Sam Vera was on the week you weren't here.
Yes.
Or as Facebook knows him, Vera Sam.
Vera Sam. Yeah, I didn't. I saw that and I went, "Who is Vera Sam?" Vera is not a name. I mean, as I don't hear it as much as a last name, but I definitely do not hear it as a first name. Yeah. It's familiar to me because I had a great aunt named Vera.
There you go. That just sounds like Aunt Vera. Like everybody.
Aunt Vera. Yeah. I mean, I know she died before I was born, but my grandmother talked about her a lot.
Yeah.
Aunt Vera. It was just that's a familiar name to me, but not a modern name. You don't hear it.
Yeah.
Old people names. What can you do?
I think we babbled for the last 20 minutes now.
Probably. So. But I mean, some of it was good. Now you guys all know I'm broke and need money.
Yeah. And I'm broke.
And need money too.
And literally broke.
And literally broke.
Yeah, fun. But so we have a full slate coming up. So I think we might actually be back on track for for this season and getting. I don't know if we'll take our Christmas break this year. It might be just Christmas.
Might be
Christmas
2 weeks between Christmas and New Year's. And
that might be it. So we will be back next week, and also make sure you come check on Wednesdays the Comic Book Geeks podcast. There's myself, Demon Phil Locklear, Jonathan Freeman Anderson, and Specs Thompson, and on that show we talk comics. That's about all we do, and then we bring on a guest.
They don't babble weirdly like I do.
We just talk about, we review some comics, talk about what's going on in the world of comics and movies and all that good stuff. And because since Katrina doesn't read those, or she's too far behind on MCU for us to discuss that.
It's true. I was all caught up, and then
Hawkeye came out, and then
I still have 2 episodes of Hawkeye.
See? So you still have Hawkeye to watch. You still have
Moon Knight,
and now you have
Miss Marvel, and I'm behind like 2 movies. I think
you have at least
Spider-Man,
and which is out in DVDs, so you can find that.
Oh, okay. I will track it down.
And on the 22nd, Doctor Strange comes on Disney Plus.
Okay, so I'm behind on. I'm behind on Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and then in a couple weeks Thor comes out.
Yes. Do you know how bad it is? I'm going to tell you how long it's been since you've been on the show.
How long since I've been on the show?
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks.
No, it's been longer than that. Because we talked about me going to see Doctor Strange that week.
Oh my god.
And now it's coming out on video.
Now it's on video. Okay, that's pretty bad. But yeah, as usual, guys, I am way behind. And my child asked me if I wanted to go see Thor. And I thought I should probably catch up on something.
I don't think you need to, really.
No?
I mean, I think as long as you saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and...
Which I have.
What was Endgame?
I've seen up to I've seen Endgame. I've seen a couple past that.
Yeah, so
most recent one I haven't seen.
Because that's more connected to Guardians of the Galaxy and the Thor whole story on Endgame where he's fat and out of shape and
right.
Yeah, so see now I'm getting cold.
Yeah,
it's back and forth. It's like
so I'm a little bit behind as usual.
Mm-hmm.
I had no plans this weekend. Maybe I'll catch up on at least Hawkeye. I can't believe I did 4 episodes and then just didn't get back to the last 2. Somebody said you might as well wait till Christmas again, so it's in the right season.
It's like a Christmas show. Yeah.
I'm like, I can watch and dream that it's that cold here right now.
Yeah, see, maybe that'll help. You watch all that snow, you'll start feeling.
I'll be like, oh right, yeah, and then I'll remember how much I hate winter.
Then you're like, oh, why is it so cold? We need to eat back. Why can't I move somewhere?
Just be fall.
I'm saying, why can't I move somewhere where it's fall all the time? You'd think there would be like this happy medium place because you have places like San Diego where it's summer all the time, and in places like up north
I thought maybe if I moved to like Virginia, so it was kind of like in the middle.
No.
And it's not. I lived in Virginia for 2 years. It was hot or rain. Yeah. Those are the 2 seasons.
Because
and no, there's a 3rd season. I forgot pollen season where all your cars are yellow.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what color it was originally. It's yellow now.
Oh, yellow. And you can't get that crap off your car.
But I thought it was like, it's the middle of the country. So maybe it's like halfway between, what it would be like in Michigan versus like Florida.
I bet you have to move like someplace like Maine.
I think Maine would have a lot of snow. They're even further north than Michigan.
But they get more snow, but I think
because they're on the ocean, they might
kind of like it stays warmer a little bit, like it for spring.
I thought maybe
we'll have to ask Steph or
we'll be like, we're taking a poll. Where should we move that's not winter?
Where can we get fall? That's what we want.
Where can we get fall year round?
Spring and fall.
I think Baltimore's kind of like that though. They don't get super cold.
See,
nobody wants to live in Baltimore, but
when I moved to York, this was we'll end the story, and I'll just tell you the story.
All right, yeah,
We'll
guys.
end the show.
We're
Good night.
leaving you on a cliffhanger. You'll never know what's going to happen when he moves.
You never know the end of the story. So, good night. Have fun.
We'll see you next
to
week.
everybody who's a father or who's a single mother,
Happy Father's Day.